ain't no gang, but I got shooters and I bang bang. Staring down the barrel of his gun. Yes, he shot me down. I died, but then I came back, struck alive, and everything my senses. Bounce on the shit dance. Bounce on the shit dance. Bounce on the shit dance. Bounce on the shit, no hands. Staring down. Okay. As you see, we're here to talk about the album of the year, Cowboy Carter, the amazing album. So I know I've been gone for like a long time. It's been like 3 months. It's been since December, but I'm back now, and we're here to talk about Cowboy Carter. We're here to talk about the album of the year. So what better video to make and to come back than talking about the album of the year? So I made this video because I feel like a lot of people are misunderstanding the album. They don't get it. They don't know what it's about. They don't know the themes. They don't know the importance of the album. I feel this album has a lot of cultural significance and a lot of hidden meanings that Beyonce put in there as she often does with her albums. But a lot of people don't see it and they don't get it, or they just don't have the palate to digest it, or they don't have the ear, or they're not listening to it with open mind. So I really wanted to make a video just talking about like the importance of the album and why it's so important to Black country music and Black country artists and Black artists in general in the Black community and its cultural significance. So I really talk about that in the video, and I do a track by track analysis. It's going to be a two-part video. So I hope you guys like it. Just like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff, and tell me your favorite tracks. And I really hope you like the video. Let's get into it. Cowboy Carter to me is a country album dedicated to the Black community and trailblazers of real country music. You know, this album was made to show Black artists that you can enter country music or any genre that you wanted to, and the options are unlimited. There's no boundary, and that you really don't have to be conformed to genres. You can come into a genre and be unapologetically Black and show your culture and give Black culture influences on a genre that you want to enter. And you know, throughout this album, Beyonce talks about the Black person's experience in America, and she also talks about the trials and tribulations of her career and the themes of motherhood and kind of like love and infidelity and so many topics. And we all know that like this album stemmed from her experience at the 2016 CMAs, where she performed Daddy Lesson with the Chicks, and she was met with so much backlash and so much pushback, and they even stripped the video down from the award show when it gave them like their biggest ratings ever. And she was disrespected, and they were being racist, and some people even walked out of her performance. So you know, and she put all that into this album and really showed them I am country. I'm going to show you why I'm country, you know, and I really just love that. And I'm going to do like a track by track analysis. So let's get into it. First, starting with American Requiem, you know, the beginning vocals are amazing. I love the message, and the lyrics and the vocals are quite literally insane. I feel every single song has a type of unique vocal style, and I love that about it. Like the vocals to every single song is unique with Cowboy Carter, and I don't see that with many albums today. Like some songs don't have unique vocal styles to them, and I love how she switches up the vocal styles within the album, and I feel like that's very important. And also the production and the vocal stackering, it's just all amazing. And this song has like a gospel influence to it that I love about it as well. So let's get into the lyrics. She says, "Nothing really ends. For things to stay the same, they have to change again. Hello, my old friend. You change your name, but not the ways you play pretend. American Requiem, them big ideas are buried here." Basically, she's talking about the depth of like the old American ideas. That's what I got from it. Like, these old ideas are buried here. Like, racism is built into America's DNA. It's built into America's DNA, and it's just like it's kind of like it quite literally won't go away, or it's kind of like people don't want to address that. They don't want to address it. They don't want to address how like America was built on racism. It was really built on racism, and no matter how much you try and suppress it, or act like it didn't happen, or suppress that knowledge, it's still going to be here, and there's no getting rid of it, and there's no getting rid of the history of Black people. You know, as much as you may try, like you can ban so many books and you can try and control the media and try and limit and silence people, but at the end of the day, it's just like it's not going to work, especially with us living in a digital age right now. And then she says, "Amen," kind of meaning like it is so, kind of like some of the things that she's talking about in this song will happen in the future, and Black people will stop going unrecognized and they will be acknowledged for their contributions to like this country, but also to this genre, which is country music, you know. And then my favorite part of the song, she goes, "Look at that, look at that, look at that." When I saw that John Baptiste produced and wrote on this song, I could see. I could see the John Baptiste influence, and I could see like the John Baptiste, like I could just see his influence on the song. And I really hope him and Beyonce collab. I hope Beyonce and John Baptiste collab in the future. Hopefully on that jazz album. I I I know Beyonce's gonna make a jazz album, and I hope she collabs with John Baptiste when she does it. But anyways, moving on, and then she says it's a lot of chatter in here, but let me make myself clear. Can you hear me? Meaning, like, I have a message, and then she says, "Do you feel me? Do you fear me?" And I think what she's talking about is like, will your fear or will your preconceptions or notions of me affect the way that you receive the message that I have to say? Will what I have to say, like, will you be able to receive the message of this album with an open mind, or will your preconceptions and will your notions of me cause you to be closed minded and to not open your mind and to not receive this album in the way that I intended people to receive it? Hmm? And I think we kind of see, and I feel like that's kind of been the theme of this album, and I feel like we've kind of been seeing it on social media, to where it's just like, you guys are falling into the trap of this album. This album is like has one big message and it's one big trap. Of the whole trap of the album and the whole theme of this album is genres are subjective, and that I've been country, that I am country, and there's really no real definition of country music when you think about it. And a lot of you guys on social media have been falling into that trap because you guys keep changing the meaning of country music. Like the line keeps moving. Like, and it's like if the meaning of country music can be changed so many times, what is the meaning of real country music? What's the meaning? Because it's just like if Post Malone, who was wearing braids and grills and started off with rap music, can be welcomed into the genre, but Beyonce can't. It's just like, what's the meaning? Like, you guys can't welcome Lil Nas X into the genre. Like, what is the real meaning of country music? Like, it's like what Candace Little Bassett said. The line is always moving. And then we get to the line where she says, "Can we stand for something?" Basically meaning now is the time to come together. Now is the time to come together and put our differences aside and fight for a greater good. And it's just like, can we stand for that, or will we let our differences get in the way of that? And I feel like this is a foreshadowing to the election. It really was. And we know what happened with that. So we don't need to get into that. And she says, now is the time to face the win. Coming in peace and love, y'all. And she's saying, although I may have a important message, I'm coming in peace and I'm coming in love, and I do want to spread peace and love when I spread this message. And it's kind of like reminiscent of the civil rights era, to where they were peacefully protesting. They were coming in peace and love. They were just trying to get their points across. And I thought the best way to do that was doing it in peace and not being rowdy and not being violent, which Black people are a lot of times given that stereotype of being violent and being loud. And they came in peace, and yet they were met with a lot of violence and backlash. And I kind of feel like that line was just reminiscent of that. And then she goes, the grandbaby of a moonshine band, Gaston, Alabama, got folks down in Gavel style, rooted in Louisiana. Used to say I spoke to country, then no rejection saying, "Can I wasn't country enough." Said I wouldn't saddle up. But if that ain't country, tell me what is. Plant my bare feet in solid ground for years. They don't know how hard I had to fight for this when I sang my song. Basically saying her mom was from Alabama, her dad Louisiana. You miss that Creole with that Negro, get a Texas Bama. Like, my parents are from the deep South. I'm from Houston. I'm from the South. I have country ingrained in my DNA. I am from the country. I love country music. I've lived and breathed country, but yet because I didn't start in the genre, or I haven't been in the genre for years, I'm apparently not country now. And like I'm saying, the line is always moving. When it comes to Black artists and with genres, the line is always moving. It's just like with Black artists, when they come into the genre, it's just like they can somewhat easily change what the meaning of the genre is. Like with country music, when Little Nas X and Beyonce started coming into this genre, it's like, oh, we can change the meaning of the genre now. The genre doesn't mean what you guys think it means. But it's like when Post Malone came into it, it's just like, oh yeah, that's country. When Morgan Wallen came in, oh yeah, that's country. But when Beyonce and Little Nas X came in, it's like, no, you're not country. And that's basically going to our point to where it's just like genres are subjective, and they are just a funny little concept to keep Black artists confined, because it's just like, if you can change the line, if you can move the goalpost that easily, then the genre has no real meaning. And you yourself don't know what the real meaning of the genre is. To be quite literally honest, some of the real meanings of these genres are just racism, if we're being honest. And I feel like that's what she's really getting at. So, getting into Blackbird, this was such a beautiful song featuring Tana Adele, Brittany Spencer, Tiara Kennedy, and Rihanna Roberts. I just feel that was so amazing, featuring those four black women because it was a song written by Paul McCartney about black women. And she says, Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you are only waiting for this moment to arise. And I feel like that is like such a testament because Beyonce had been waiting for Album of the Year for so long. And she had put a lot of her trials and tribulations, her blood, sweat, and tears into all the albums that she was nominated in each category. Beyonce's self-titled had such a deep meaning. Renaissance had such a deep meaning, and Lemonade had such deep meanings to her and what she was going through in her life. And she put her blood, sweat, and tears into those projects, and she did win Album of the Year. And then she did it again for this project, and she won. And like she had been waiting to for her hard work to be recognized all these years, and it was finally recognized. And with Blackbird, also the line like again, you've only been waiting for this moment to arise is kind of like reminiscent of like Tanner manifested this moment. She manifested being on Beyonce's album. She asked and she was on it. And then it's just like a lot of black artists, a lot of black country artists that came out and said, with this album, like us not even being featured on it, but just Beyonce coming into country music and being a black artist and uplifting black artists and black country music, we've gotten more followers, we've gotten more streams, and like our music is doing so much better just from her just putting out two singles. Just from her putting out two singles and starting this conversation and just her putting out this album, like our music has done numbers and we've been put on playlists and so many great things have been happening for our careers just by Beyonce starting this conversation. And a lot of country artists have come out and talked about that. And I love that. And that's really is why this album is so important for black country artists and black people in country music. And then we get to 16 Carriages. Such a beautiful song. This is a superior single. It's a superior single. 16 Carriages is much, 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 much better than Texas Hold'em, might I say. Very much better. And I just love it. Like the vocals, the vocal layering, and the storytelling, and the 16 carriages. Like, I love that part. It's all just so amazing. And the message behind this song is very beautiful. And I love what she did with it. And then she said, I might cook clean, but still won't fall. I love that line. But Beyonce, we know you don't cook. We know you can't cook. You literally almost burnt your house down when you tried to cook. So whatever that means. But she says $16, working all day and got time to waste. I've got love to create on this holy light. They won't dim my light. All these years I fight. I like this song is like so deep and I love it. Like it's so deep and it hits me to my core every single time. I almost shed a tear literally. Like I love this song so much. I don't think you guys understand how much I love this song and how much I resonate with it. And then she says, it's been 15, it's not 15 summers. It's been 38 summers and I'm not in my bed, on the back of the bus in a book with the band. Going so hard now, I miss my kids, overworked and overwhelmed. I might cook clean, but still won't fold. Still working on my life, you know. Only God knows, only God knows, only God knows. And basically saying she's like still fighting for respect in this industry after all these years after proving herself year after year, project after project, tour after tour, album after album, movie after movie, all the things she's done, she's still proving herself and she's still fighting for respect. And it's like she said on the Renaissance film with black women, it's almost like, how much can I bullshit you and bullshit you and bullshit you and push you into your level until you give up and push you to the max? And then Beyonce said, they realize this bitch will not give up. Because like Beyonce has a common goal and she has a vision in her head. And it's like she's not gonna give up on that vision. It's either you're gonna get with it or you're gonna get gone. Period. And I love that because like she's a very hardworking woman, and some of her hard work does go unnoticed. I think she feels like some of her hard work goes unnoticed, and I think that's a very testament. And I also feel like this is a connection to like Break My Soul, to where she said, and I just quit my job and I'm gonna find a new drive. Then they work me so damn hard. Work by 9, then I'll pass 5, and then work my nerves this way I cannot sleep at night. This is kind of a reflection of the American people. They're overworked, they're overwhelmed, they're either coming into work super early, leaving super late, don't have time for their family, their social life. Like corporate America is draining everything out of the American people. It's just like for some people, their hard work, especially black people, their hard work is going unnoticed in corporate America. It's going so much unnoticed, and they have to jump through so many hurdles to like get here and to get this place. And it's just like once they get to that place, it's just like they have to jump through more hurdles to prove that they deserve to be in that space. And it's just like also with people, it's just like a lot of people are not living comfortably. Like on paper, they look like they're making a great salary, but it's just like this salary can barely cover their expenses of life. It's just like so many people are making like 100K a year, but it's just like 100K a year in 2010 is different from 100K a year in 2024. So like, and then she says, at 15, the innocence was going astray. I had to take care of home at an early age. Also, mama crying, also daddy lying. And I feel like a lot of young black children can relate to this, or like a lot of young black girls can relate to like losing their innocence at a young age and having to grow up young, or having to grow up fast at a young age to like help take care of home, help either cook or clean or get a second job or get a job to help their parents with the bills, or just helping their parents around the house and not really getting to be innocent and live their life or live out their teenage years the way that they wanted to because they had to help at home with their parents and help their parents make ends meet or help their parents around the house. And I feel like she does kind of like a lot of people can relate to that. And she says, for legacy, if it's the last thing I do, you remember me because we got something to prove in your memory on a highway to choose. Still see her face when I close your eyes. Like her legacy is the most important thing to her. Her legacy is important. She's not gonna let anybody ruin it, anybody tarnish it, because she's worked so hard for this shit. Like she's worked so hard, put her blood, sweat, and tears in it. She's sacrificed so much, and I feel like this song is like an ode to her younger self, and it's really a tribute to her younger self because she like she lost her childhood and like she didn't get to be a child because she was working. She was working for a greater goal that she had, which was to be the star that she is today. And I just love this song. And then like we get in and like the way she was flowing on this song, like she was kind of rap singing on the verse, which like it's been 38 summers and I'm out of my bag in the back of the bus in the bunk with the band. Coming so hard, no, I miss my kids. Overworked and overwhelmed. I might cook clean, but still won't fall. Still working on my life, you know. Only God knows, only God knows, only God knows. Like I love the flow. The flow is cute. I love 16 carriages down. It's in my top five. I have more ballads on my top five than I do upbeat tracks. So yeah, and then getting into Protector, this is a beautiful song. Once again, the vocal layering is amazing. I love the production. Less is more to me. The guitar is beautiful. And when Ruby says, Mommy, can we hear the little lullaby? That is so cute because it feels like a lullaby being sung around a campfire. That's the vibe that I get from this song. That the feelings, those are the feelings the song evokes for me personally. And then she says, and I will lead you down that road if you lose your way. Born to be a protector. And even though I know you're going to shine on your own one day, I'll be a protector. Basically saying she wants to be there for their children. She wants to see them grow and be who they're destined to be. And she'll protect them and help them get to where they need to be. But she also wants to be a projector. She wants to live through them and see them grow up to who they're destined to be. And she'll be a champion for them and she'll cheer them on. And like she's really glad to be a mother. You can really tell. And she says, an apricot picked right off the given tree. I gave water into the soil and now it feeds me. And I was shaded underneath it all. I feel so proud of who I am because you need me. Like she's just glad to be a mother and she wants to be there for her children every step of the way. And then we get to My Rose. The vocal layering on this song and the harmonies are amazing. And this is a great interlude, and I just love her tone. And she says, how many times have you let yourself get you down? Let yourself get you down, my dear. So many thorns to be picked, but none without flaws will be but none without thorns will be fond of your flaws. Be fond of your flaws, dear. Okay. Meaning like nothing comes without hard work. Like nothing really comes without hard work. You're gonna go through trials and tribulations and hard times and like you're just gonna it's all about how you pick yourself back up and try again and just keep trying and keep going and keep going. And I love the harmonies where she goes la 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 la. Like I love that part so much. And then she says, I just hope you love yourself like that. And I really hope the best for you. You're my love, my sweetie pie, my baby, my heart. My heart, I hope. Like she's once again just pushing positive affirmations and pushing love into her children and just lifting them up and just she can't wait to see everything that they're destined to be. And I love that about this song. And the track listing on this album is very intentional because this first five tracks, she's really talking about some meaningful stuff going on in her life and going on in motherhood and really going on in the world. And then we slowly transition into like the upbeat part of the album with Smoke Hour. And Willie Nelson narrating this was very important, especially with the theme of the album about pushing genres, because he was somebody in country music who talked about politics and who has been championing about politics and been advocating for minorities and talking about pressing topics in his music, especially in country music. And this is kind of like a radio station guiding you through. And he says, now for the next tune, I want you to sit back in hell and go off to that good place that your mind likes to wander to. And if you don't want to go find yourself a jukebox. Thank you. And he's basically saying, like, if you can't get with the album, if you can't listen to this album with the open mind, and if you can't allow yourself to escape and receive this message and just listen to the music and drown yourself in the world of Cowboy Carter, then turn it off and go listen to something else. Go listen to something else. Go listen to something that is more comfortable and palatable for you. And I think a lot of people should just say, I don't have the ear for this. I I don't have the ear for this. I don't understand the message, instead of just saying, this album is bad. Just because you don't get the message and you don't have the ear for it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means it wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. Now let's move on. Like, it wasn't for you. And then, like, getting into Texas Hold'em, I love it. The banjo is cute. I love it. This ain't Texas. Like, I just love it. And basically, she's just letting loose. She wants to have fun. Like, from wrestling, and don't be a bitch. Come take it to the floor. No, ooh. And she says, and I'll be damned if I cannot dance with you. Come pour some liquor on me, honey chew. It's a real life boogie and a real life hold down. Don't be a bitch. Come take it to the floor now. Like, she just wants to have fun. It's a nice little cute dance line song. Loving that. And then she says, there's a heat wave coming at us. Too hot to think straight. Too cold to panic. All of the problems just feel dramatic. And now we're running to the first part that we find, yeah. I just like basically all the shit that's going on doesn't matter. All these problems don't matter. I just want to be with you and I just want to dance with you and I just want to have a great time with you. And I want to sip some whiskey. I want to put on my boots, go down to the bar, dance, and sip some fucking whiskey. And I love that. Like, I love that part. I personally don't put my boots on, go down to the bar and sip whiskey, but and dance, but it's cute, and I love that. And then she says, like, I love the ending where she goes, don't be a bitch, come take her to the floor now. Ooh, I love when she belts and then brings it down into like this nice ending. And like the vocal harmonies are good. And she says, photogenic, shoot. I love that part. That is like my favorite lyric of the line. Like, that's like an Instagram caption. I think that's gonna be my caption for the Cowboy Carter tour. I don't know. But anyways, Texas Told Them it's a cute song. Like I said, 16 Courageous is a superior single. But I feel like you guys wanted to dance. You were still wanting to dance, although she gave you a full dance album. Gave you a full dance album, you still said, I want to dance some more. So let's make Texas Told Them go number one, and went quite literally 16 Courageous to win number one. But that's neither here nor there. 4, 2, 3, 1. Ooh, ah, so sweet. I love the transition. I love the vocal layering. I love the grittiness in her voice. Like I said, every single song has a very much unique vocal style that is going on, and I really love this. In like this is like I said, the placement is so intentional because placing this right after Texas Hold'em, but then placing it before Jolene, it's like we're still like having like this fun vibe of like dancing and being carefree, but now we've entered this like sexy side of Beyonce. But it's just like with the sexiness, it's coming like I'm ready to beat a bitch up, and then it goes into Jolene, and I love that. So let's just get into it. The transition was amazing, like I said. She says, so sweet. Dun, dun, I give you kisses in the backseat. Dun, dun, I whisper secrets in the backbeat. You make me cry, you make me happy. Happy. I really love that. It's a very sweet and sexy song. It's just very sweet, very sexy, and very witty. Like, I just feel the sweetness in this song. I don't know what about it. It just feels so sweet to me. And I love that when she goes, oh, like it's like she's edging you. It's like she's edging you with her vocals. Like she keeps slowly like taking you up, and like she's slowly edging you with her voice, with Bodyguard. With those O's, she's slowly edging you, and she's slowly going up with it. But it's just like right when you're at the climax. She goes, she takes it out, she goes, and they couldn't have me. And they never will. Like, I just love this song so much. And then when she says, and sometimes I hold you closer just to know you're real, like Ryan Beatty said that was his favorite line that he had ever wrote. And I love that line so much. I love it. Like sometimes I hold you closer just to know you're real. Like Beyonce is just as delusional as me. I think she's more delusional than me, quite literally. But I just love that line. Like Beyonce's really talking her shit. Like when she said they couldn't have me and they never will, like you bitches are on her level. And you never will be. Period. And then she said, like, I just love it. And then she says, Davis in my bones. Ah. Like, Davis in my bones is like such an important line. Act three is rock because she was kind of referencing Betty Davis in Sir Davis. And like, yeah. And I can't wait for Act three. It's a foreshadowing to Act three. Betty Davis is a black country legend. So black rock legend, I believe. Not country. But you guys know what I mean. And then she says, some days I take the day off just to turn you on. I love that lyric too. Like it's just so sexy. Like she's really all about her man. She's all about her man. She's in love with her man. Like this part feels like they're in the honeymoon phase. Like they're in the honeymoon phase of the relationship and they're just having a great time. Like they're really in the honeymoon phase and they're just having a good time. And I love that about that. And then she says, I'll protect you in the mosh pit and I'll defend you in the gossip. You know, people like to start shit and pop shit. I don't like the way she's looking at you. Someone better hold me back. Basically, like, she'll defend her man and she'll protect him from the groupies. And, you know, she's saying it's like, she's going to stand by her man. She's going to stand by her man. And, like, this is where we first meet Jolene, and this is where like she's ready to pop off already. She's like, I'm ready to pop off because this bitch is really pushing it. Like she's really ready to pop off, and she's ready to get down, you know. And I just love it at the end when she goes, oh. I love the belting, I love the growls, I love the harmonies. Everything about it is just amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then like I love how she takes up and then the countdown starting how we ended with the countdown and then going into Dolly P and then Dolly Parton mentions what's the girl's name, Becky with the good hair. Who cares about Becky? Becky, we don't care about you. She mentions Becky with the good hair, and then we go into Jolene. The production is crisp, and not Steve Harvey, Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder on that harmonica is amazing. Like that harmonica, chef's kiss. And he goes, Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm warning you, don't come for my man. Like she's like I like how we're immediately met with Beyonce's rendition of the song and how she gave us a different perspective and a different story. And she tailored it to her personally. And she says, Jolene, I'm a woman too. The games you play are nothing new. So you don't want this heat with me, Jolene. But you don't want this. So it just says, but you don't want this smoke. So shoot your shot for someone else. You heard me in the background vocals. And I love the background vocals of this song too because like she's just saying like cool and like witty shit that like adds so much pizzazz to the song. She's basically like, Jolene, you can't handle me, so I advise you do something safe. I advise you move on. And like the pow pows in the background is kind of foreshadowing spaghetti. And like it's kind of foreshadowing like spaghetti, and I love that part. And he says, Jolene, I know. And she says, Jolene, I know I'm a queen, but I'm still a Creole banjo bit from Louisiana. And like somebody said she wrote this from the perspective of her mother, and and like that's evident with like the Creole Banji bitch from Louisiana. And it's just like she's saying, although I'm a queen, I still got that dog in me. I will get down and I will stoop down to your level and I will beat your ass, Jolene. Like she's ready to whoop Jolene's ass. Like she's ready to throw down with Jolene. Like she will take it to hell. Like, and the point of this song is basically sometimes you gotta beat a bitch ass over your man. Sometimes you have to fight for your man. Sometimes you have to beat that bitch up over your man. Would I do it? No, but I do advise you to do it. Sometimes you have to fight over your man. Sometimes that man is worth fighting for. Yeah. I don't believe anything that I'm saying right now, but I think a lot of you guys will believe it. So you should do that. And then she goes, There's 1,000 women in every woman that act as we do. You a bird going to sing your tune, Jolene. And then my favorite line, she says, Your peace depends on how you move, Jolene. Like, that is my favorite line. Like Beyonce is reading Jolene down. She's reading Jolene for fifth, and she's not taking her foot off her neck, and I love it. I love it so much. Like she's putting Jolene on notice. And then it's just like, I love when the choir comes in because she's like, they're basically stepping behind Beyonce. They're saying, we're Team Beyonce. Jolene, you are not welcome here. You need to leave now. They're saying, you need to leave. Like, I love the choir. Like, the choir is amazing and the background vocals are amazing. And she said, I'm going to stand by him. He going to stand by me. I'm going to stand by him. He going to stand by me. Like, I just love it. And the vocal layerings are amazing. It's just, Jolene is amazing. It's an amazing song. And then we get into my second favorite song on the album, top three, Daughter. And like, we're instantly met with the haunting feeling with the guitar. Like, the dark guitar changes the mood, and my mind immediately went to Beyonce. What the fuck did you do? What did you do, Beyonce? I was like, what did she do? Because like, it was like such a change up, but like it fit the theme so much. And then she says, your body laid out on this 54. Your bloodstains are my custom couture. Bathroom attendant let me right in. She was a big fan. I really tried to hide my solitude, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I'm ripped. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do. And this made me think she killed Jolene because she said, I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Like, I'm like, you did a number on that bitch. Did ya? Did ya, Beyonce? And then she says, how long can he hold his breath before his death? And I'm like, did she kill the man too? Like, like Beyonce, what did you do? Because she talks about, now I ripped the dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do. And she says, how long can he hold his breath before his death? So like, did she kill Jolene and the man? Like, was she just fed up with both of them? She said, fuck it, I'm gonna kill both of you. She said, fuck you and that nigga. And I'm like, ew. And then we get to the opera. Beyonce's ear is insane. Her ear is insane. Like, do you know how musically in tuned and musically intelligent and how great your ear has to be to add opera to a country track? Like, to add opera to a country track is quite literally outerworldly and insane. And this is why this album deserved album of the year. This is why it is the album of the year. Because doing opera on a country track is like the craziest thing I've heard ever. And then she says, Cardio mi ben, credi al men, senza di te laguish il car, il tu fidel, sa sphere anior, cesa crodel tanto rigor. And basically what this means is, my dear beloved, believe me at last, without you the heart languages, your faithful one always sighs, sees cruel one, such rigor. Like, so my thing is, who's the cruel one? Is the cruel one him or Jolene? Like, what's going on? And then she says, help me learn from these fantasies in my head. They ain't never been saved ones. I don't fellowship with these fake ones. So I travel to white chapels and hymns and sing hymns, hold rosaries, sing and sing out Stephanies, cleanse me, Holy Trinity, from this marijuana smoke smell in my hair. So my thing was this just a fantasy of her killing Jolene? Like, was this a fantasy? Did she not kill Jolene? And was it just all in her head? And she's asking for forgiveness. Like, she's like, God, please help me before I crash out. Like, is this like before the crash out? Like, what she's fantasizing about the crash out? Hmm. I wonder. And then she says, say I'm nothing like my father, but I'm the furthest thing from choir boys and altars. If you cross me, I'm double cross me, I'm just like my father. I am colder than Titanic water. I was like, that's deep. That's deep. And like, I love that line. Like, I am colder than Titanic water. Like, I'm like, damn, bitch. And then we get into spaghetti. Like, spaghetti, and then like Linda Martell narrating, once again, very important because an important trailblazer in country music. She was the first black woman to perform at the Grand Ole Opry. Iconic. Iconic. And like, her narration is very important because she was shut out of the country genre due to racism. And then like this is the first song on the album where she truly starts to genre bend. This is where she's truly starting to genre bend and switching up, and where she's doing something kind of out of the ordinary. Because like Daughter is just like, yeah, it had the Italian influence, but that's not far out of the scope. Like Bodyguard, it was a like, like a country pop song. That's not far out of the scope for a country. This rap song is like this rap trap influence. It's far out of the scope. And with this song, you can tell it's far out of the scope because this is the song that everybody likes to use to discredit the album as country. Linda Martell literally says, genres are a funny little concept, aren't they? Yes, they are. That Beyonce Virgo shit. In theory, they have a simpler definition that's easy to understand, but in practice, some may feel confined. It's like, how could you hear that interlude and then go on and say, this album isn't country. You guys are falling into the trap of the album. The trap of the album is some of you guys don't have the ear and you're not open minded enough to listen to the album with the open mind. Like you don't have what it takes to listen to the album with the open mind. And then like and this goes to what I've been saying, like just because music is not marketed to a white heterosexual audience or a white audience doesn't mean that it was bad. It just means that it wasn't for you. Like just because people are making music for marginalized communities or making music to uplift certain communities and certain people doesn't mean that the album was bad. It just means that there was a greater message and a greater meaning that went behind marketing their music to white people. And I love that we're in a time to where people don't have to dumb their music down or sort of like try and change the message to appeal to white people. Like we are not in the time to where we have to appeal to white people and what they want and what's palatable to them or what they want to hear anymore. And I think there are some white people who don't know how to take that, especially white country listeners, because it's like, and I feel like an album that like I want to talk about of like is Reputation, because I feel Reputation is like kind of like a definition of somebody trying to change the way in which they market to the media and not marketing to white media. And then like once she didn't do that, and once Taylor didn't do that, they got very mad. Like once Taylor stopped marketing to white media, it's like they wanted nothing to do with that album. Like critics didn't like it, the public didn't like it, like award shows weren't feeling it. Like, and I really want to talk about that. That might be like my Let's video series, but just like I feel like as listeners, we should be more open. Like, just be more open to a project and just start listening to projects with open mind and start receiving them for their messages. And like I said, I feel like a lot of people listen to this album with a closed mind. You listen to the album with a closed mind, and a lot of you quite literally didn't listen to anything past Texas Hold'em. If we're being honest, and he says, I ain't in no gang, but I got shooters and I bang bang. With stuff on my fingers, I'm Thanos. Da, da, da. And I'm still in your hair, cornrows. Da, 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 da. And basically, like, when Beyonce comes in, she's going to take over. She's going to take over and she's going to do it her way. And she's not going to confine to what people want her to confine to. She's not going to do it the way you guys want her to do. And like she said, this is a Beyonce album, not a country album. And I absolutely hate that everyone decided to misunderstand what she was saying when she said this is not a Beyonce album, this is a country album. What she meant by that is I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a country album, but I'm not going to just do like a standard country album. I'm going to do it my way and I'm going to come in and I'm going to mix black culture and I'm going to tell a compelling message and I'm going to genre bend and mix different genres and try and experiment with new things and work with new and different producers. I'm not going to do it the standard way that country has been done. And I hate that a lot of people misunderstood that and purposely misinterpreted that message. You guys purposely misinterpreted that message on purpose. And you guys keep misinterpreting that so you can purposely call the album not country. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And then moving on, she says, they call me the captain, the catwalk assassin. Like she's talking about, she has a nasty walk. In the energy walk, chef's kiss, loved it. And she says, country, country, petty, petty, petty. Like, she's all the things. She's all the things. And basically, she's saying, I'm like, petty, petty, petty. I'm going to get my lip back. As a Virgo does. Like, Virgos are very petty. I'm a Virgo. And as one Virgo does, we're going to get their lip back. And she says, they salty like curry. Like, you guys can't handle her. You guys are haters. You're haters. You guys don't want to see Beyonce win. You don't want to see Beyonce win. And then she says, now we on a mission. Now we on a mission. Turn me to the opposition. I'm a pro by the proposition. Y'all been played by the plagiaristic. Ain't gonna give no clout addition my attention. Basically saying we've been conditioned to think that white people own country. We've been conditioned to think that this is their genre and that they control it and that nobody else should be allowed in the genre. When the truth is, they really didn't create the genre, but they stole it from black people. Let's be honest. And she's saying, I'm not going to come into this genre and give you guys clout and do it your way, because I feel a lot of people, a lot of country artists, and a lot of white country legends were expecting Beyonce to come in and uplift country the way they thought, in the way that they thought it was, and they wanted them to lift up their definition of country. And I think a lot of country legends were expecting either a cosign or a performance with Beyonce, or they were expecting a feature. And when they very much saw that she was doing black artists and the only OG country artists she had that were white were Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton, I think they got pissed off. Also think that's why they're discrediting the album as not country, because a lot of country legends got pissed off that how dare she come in this album and not ask me to be on the album. I think that's what they were mad about. I think they were mad that they didn't get a chance to be on the album, because I think when people heard that Beyonce was on a country album, they're like, oh, this is gonna change country music. She's gonna boost it. Country music is gonna see a resurgence like it's never has before. And when she very much decided to uplift black country music instead of white country music, that's when you guys got mad, and that's when you quite literally start showing your anti-blackness and racism. And like, I think it was Keith, Keith Sweat, Keith something. He's like, Beyonce should drench herself in Nashville and country culture. It's just like, how is she going to drench herself in country culture when she tried to and they were being racist? Why would she drench herself and co-sign country culture that is openly racist? Like she said, like, you guys just wanted, like, the country community just wanted to use Beyonce for ratings. They just wanted to use her for ratings. And when she didn't allow them to use her for ratings, they got mad. Because my thing is, she came in 2016, tried to drench herself into your culture, and then you guys took her performance down. The CMAs took her performance down. And they're just like, you had Shabuzi, who did everything you guys wanted, dressed himself in the Nashville culture, and didn't receive not one award. You guys quite literally used him to get black media and to get the black viewership. And Beyonce said, you guys may have did it with me in 2016, but you're not going to do it in 2024. And that's what you guys were mad about. You guys were mad that you couldn't use Beyonce the way that you guys wanted to use her. And then, like, they say, I love the ending. The ending is so cool. The ending quite literally feels like a massacre. It feels like a massacre, and it feels like they ran Jolene out of the town. And then getting into Alligator Tears, one of my favorite songs. The production is amazing. It's very simplistic, and like, I just love these ballads. Like, I love this ballad, and her voice is so great. Her voice is doing all the work, and I love the intentionality of the notes that she decides to hold. She says, "Sunrise in the morning, you're all I need, and I'm running, and all I need is rain in the roots 1 week." Like, Miss saying, once those tears start falling, baby, I'll do anything for you. And then she says, "The sweet things need time to grow. Think about leaving hell no. Screams every ounce of love in my body. Yeah." I love that fire. And then, like, she's saying she knows this kind of love isn't good. She knows he's manipulating her, but like, she'll do anything to him. She'll let him run her dry, which is very insane. But I love it. I love the song. And she says, "You say move a mountain, and I'll throw on my boots. You say stop the river running. I'll build a dam or two. You say change religions. Now I spend Sundays with you. Something about those tears of yours. How does it feel to be adored?" Like, she's willing to move heaven and earth for this man. She's willing to move heaven and earth, and she'll do anything for him. Like, this is a very manipulative love, and she's falling into the trap. The girl is falling into the trap, and I love the ending where she goes, "I adore, I adore, I adore, I adore, I adore those alligator tears." And I love the ending. Her lower register is insane. Like, I know, I adore. Like, her lower register in this song is insane. It is insane, and I love it. And that's really the end of this video. But I'm gonna say, like, the Grammys, I'm glad she won it. There's a lot of outrage. And the Grammys came out and said, we chose innovation. They said, we chose innovation, and we chose people who pushed boundaries and who did something that had never been done before and who went outside their comfort zone. And that is what Beyonce has been about these last 10 years. Beyonce has been about pushing the bar and doing things that people have never done before. Since like four, it's been about doing things that has never been done before and pushing the boundary and being in her own lane and doing what's unique to her and doing what's unique to her community and the people who love her. Like, Self-Titled was about feminism and navigating motherhood and being sexy with while doing it. Lemonade was about the navigation of infidelity and how it can be a generational curse and how it runs deep in the black community. And she's somewhat tied it back to racism. I mean, not racism, slavery. And then Black is King is about being unapologetically black, where black people are being crucified and villainized. And Renaissance is about being carefree, being comfortable in your skin, and uplifting the gay and queer community and telling them to embrace and be who you are. And then Cowboy Carter is essentially about black country music and the history of black country music and the things that black people have had to endure in this country and while in country music. And her goal within this past decade has just been to make music on her own terms and not be conformed to genres and to genre band and to just expand and to do new and to be innovative. And that's the whole theme of this album. That's the importance of it. So that's the end of part one. I hope you guys loved it. Tell me your favorite tracks. Tell me what you loved about it. Please comment, share, like the video. Go find my socials. And bye.